Hello, I'm Steve, here again with Pastor Victor Brote. Thanks for being with us as always, Pastor.
Really glad to be here.
Okay, so, there's so many different angles that we can look at things, and before we started recording this, you brought up something that just a little different angle on 1 Timothy 6:10. So read that, tell us about it.
1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. And we live in a society today where we want everything here and now. And think about it, we sell our future for the now. So we can't afford something, say we want a nice, shiny new iPhone, and we spend the $1,000 somehow, some way, but it's too much for our budget. It's too much for the reality of what we can live with. So we put it on a credit card, and that sells our present day into the future, and we become a kind of slave to that future that we can't keep up with. When you put it on the credit card, it ends up being 20% interest. So that means that within a few years, you've not bought one iPhone, you bought two of them by the interest. And you've given a whole product away to somebody else because you're so desirous to have everything now. And our society works that way. And it's putting us into a trap. We're in a corner now. We've gone after financing and living on debt. And now it's as if everything's beginning to shrink because you can't do that forever. And the interest is piling up, and everybody's beginning to feel the pressure of that cultural desire to have everything, absolutely now. And it's coming back to pierce us through, to kill us, as the scriptures seem to indicate, when we go after things. And it's just so important to get a balance to our life. And that's even in the tithing. When we learn to allocate our finances, 10% here and a few percent here and a few percent there, saving for our future, all these things, we become more and more free from that bondage that's all around us in our culture today. And it's so important to realize, I know people can't get out of it right this instant, but there needs to be a working toward that goal instead of just, oh, I want that, I want this. And then all of a sudden, your payments at the end of the month far exceed your income, and you become pierced through with all this bondage. It is so easy to do, but it is so not God's plan. Got more to share on that, Steve?
Well, and we're speaking right now from the U.S., and the culture is probably a little different. And with some of our other listeners are from other countries, and they probably, I don't know how their cultures are, but it's interesting. We're talking about a United States culture is very, I want it now, and stuff into our stuff. So I think some of our listeners might not be struggling with it like you and I struggle with, in our culture. But that is a very interesting and true take. And I really appreciate that angle that you put on this.
And I've discovered some people that live on a very modest budget. It can happen to the rich person, and it can happen to the poor person, where we get everything out of balance because we got to have it now, and we focus in an anti-biblical mindset, and it does damage to us. No matter, even if you live in a one-room shack, it's just so important to come to terms with how we deal with money, how we give to other people, how we bless other people. the mathematics of God's world, the economy of God, uh, is different than what any human economy is put together, whether it's a tyrant ruling over his subjects and trying to suck them dry, or a government of a different nature. It's so important that we kind of step out of the herd and go in God's direction.
Yeah, it's easy for us to get, because we want the stuff and we get overextended, and now we've dug ourselves a big hole. So thanks for your angle on that and your input on that, Pastor, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for being with us.
All right.